You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. They're gonna smile, yes they will, 'cause you're beautiful as you feel. Hi everybody, Ally Waldman here. Welcome to the Barbra Streisand Videocast for March 24th. And it's Sunday with Ally time. And despite having had a really bad week, here I am. I'm still here, hat in place. This is sort of, I guess, one of my, like a Barbara Joan cap, I guess. You know, I think Barbara's had more of a crown to the top of it. But that's why I was singing Beautiful, because, you know, that's beautiful as you feel. Anyway, that's also a tribute to Carole King, who I adore, and she wrote the song. So, hello everybody, welcome to another week of Sunday with Ally. Like I said, despite having had a pretty rotten week with some troubling medical issues, I am here. I have on my happy face, and I'm ready to talk Barbara, and I am really excited for fans who are in Europe and Tel Aviv who are going to get to see Barbara in concert, the 2012 concert that I got to see in Brooklyn and many other fans got to see in the United States. Barbara's going to London and Paris and Berlin and 2 new locations, Cologne and Amsterdam, not to mention Israel, which we talked about last week. It has now all been confirmed. There are now, I guess, 6 dates altogether. I assume, and I actually have it on good authority, they will be adding more dates. I don't know if they're going to be adding more cities, but they're going to be adding more dates. That's why there's spacing in between. Barbara usually likes to take about a day off in between shows, sometimes 2 days. But it's very, very significant that she's going to Amsterdam for the first time. She's got a huge fan base in the Netherlands. They love her there. And they've always supported her records and her albums. So I'm sure that place sold out almost instantly. London, the O2 Arena, sold out in 10 minutes. Last I heard, you could get some stray seats here and there, singles, and not really the low-end seats, more like the high-end seats. But for my friends overseas, good for you. I'm really happy you guys are going to get to see Barbara. And since Il Volo are not able to be on this tour, I think, and Chris Bodie will be, I think they're going to pump up the participation for Roz and Jason. Roz was mentioned in the press release as she is going to have, I think she's going to have more to do in this, you know, revamped European concert. I think a lot of the set pieces from Brooklyn are still going to be there. The tribute to Marvin, the Gypsy medley, the some of her reminiscing, the Brooklyn introduction. I think all that's still going to be there. I think the snippet section is going to be wide open. Maybe she'll finally sing Woman in Love for you European fans who love the whole Guilty album and love that song and wish she would sing it. Maybe you're going to get your chance. I think Barbara is pretty wide open. Now, I had a couple of interesting ideas that I thought I would share with you. One, there's no way Barbara's doing this Israel concert and without making it special for Israel. It's the first time she's ever sung there. It is considered, you know, the Jewish state. She is one of the world's biggest, if not the biggest, Jewish entertainer of her generation, and it would be almost remiss if she didn't do some of her more ethnic music. And by ethnic, I mean, I want a Yentl medley. Why not, right? Papa, can you hear me? Will someone ever look at me that way? There are moments you remember all your life. I think the door is wide open, no matter what happens. A Piece of Sky. Now, she did Piece of Sky in '94 and in 2000 for the Timeless Tour, so she may not go back to Piece of Sky. But those other songs, she could do something. She could also switch out, instead of doing Make Our Garden Grow as the finale, she could do Avinu Malkeinu, which she actually did sing at the Israeli Defense Fund benefit. with a small chorus. But as we know, the 2012 concert, well, they were using big choral societies to Make Our Garden Grow and make it a big production number. So Barbra could do Avinu Malkeinu with a big production, or Hatikva, which she sang at Star Salute Israel, which is the Israeli national anthem. Or she could surprise us. You know, she could sing a song that we're not even expecting. You know, I would love to see Barbra kind of reaching out for some fresh material to make that Tel Aviv show really, really, really special. And I want them to film it. I do. I think Barbra in Israel would be a magnificent television special. It would be sort of later in the run of these concerts. I think it's just, you know, we don't know whether they plan on doing, we know that they were working on the Brooklyn concert as a DVD release, but not necessarily a television special. You know, right now television is not really conducive to specials anymore. It's like they've gone passé. Last year Lady Gaga did one, it didn't do particularly well. They just don't do TV specials the way they used to. Maybe Barbra is the one who can bring it back. But I kind of think that if she were to bring it back, she would need to take it to a premium station like Showtime or HBO. I think Fox is not the answer. PBS pretty much ran the Village Vanguard like the DVD. They didn't add anything to it. They didn't augment it. So that's my suggestion. One of my suggestions. And like I said, I'm really, really happy for my friends overseas. I expect all of you guys to be emailing me after the shows and telling me what you saw, what you thought, how it made you feel, because I want to report to everybody on Sunday with Ally. So, you know, my friends, my friends in, I can't remember, I'm blanking out on names here. Colin and Simon, Miranda, oh God, I'm blanking out on all my names. But all you guys, I know on the board, congratulations. I'm happy you're getting tickets. Martin, I left Martin out. Martin Curious 33, he's going to see Barbra. I'm really, really happy that Barbra's going overseas. I hope there's not too much fetching about the ticket prices, but listen, as somebody who bought 2 tickets and spent money that I should not have been spending on Barbra tickets, I don't regret any of the decisions that I made, because those are memories that will last forever, and Barbra gives a great show. It's not just, as I've said many, many times before, it's not just her standing or sitting on a stool, sipping her tea, and singing a couple of songs. It's a production. It's a big show. Barbra works on it. She's funny, she's in the moment, she's self-deprecating, she's playful, she's the consummate entertainer. She's not up there bumping and grinding and dancing. That's not her thing. But boy, does she give a good show. So congratulations. Now, I mentioned that Roz is going along and probably going to do more than just Get Happy, Happy Days medley, because they have to fill that spot left by Il Volo not being there. And I think Jason had a duet with Barbra and one solo. He may get another couple of numbers. But here's an idea. Tell me what you think. There's a song in Gypsy called Together, which is sung by Herbie and Louise and Rose. I'm sure you know it. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. Wouldn't that sound great with Roz, Jason, and Barbra singing it? I think I would quell. I would be in happy heaven if I saw the 3 of them singing that song together on stage. Now, if I've let the cat out of the bag and if they've already planned this, then I'm sorry. And if you haven't thought of it, Barbra, take it. Take the idea. I give it to you as a gift. Roz, Jason, start working on Barbra. This would be a terrific number. If the Sondheim lyrics in the song are great too. Really great. And it's one more, little indication that Barbra's doing Gypsy, which I will tell you guys again, and I know you guys think I'm a broken record. And you know what? If I'm wrong, you could all throw tomatoes at me when it's all said and done. But I truly believe that when the concert is finished, this concert tour of Europe, Barbra will get down to working on Gypsy. Now, some people have been asking me about, well, where's the 12 DVD set? Where's the Duets 2 album? What's going on with those projects? Those are ongoing projects. I would think the 12 DVD set may not be something they're going to release until for Christmas of 2013. We know that Barbra was working on it. But if they are actually going to put out the Brooklyn concert for Mother's Day, they're going to need a window of time before they release that 12 DVD set. And if they do release the Brooklyn concert as a DVD, it's probably also going to be a CD, and that will be the CD for 2013, which to me says 2014 is when we'll get the Duets album. The Duets album sounds to me like part of the reason that it's taking time is that logistically, all these different people that are going to be working on the album, the other voices, they have to find Josh Groban tweeted that he and Barbra are going to sing on this Duets album, but they haven't found the right song yet. We know she did some work already with Walter Afanasieff and Babyface Edmonds. So I think they were laying the groundwork, but I don't think it's a done project yet. But I know you guys get really frustrated because you say, why can't they just tell us? Well, it's all about marketing. It's all about branding, and it's all about timing. In 2012, we're already so jaded. In 2012, we got Release Me, we got the Brooklyn concert, we got a new movie from Barbra. All that happened in 2012. That's a lot of stuff for one artist. Go take a look and see what somebody else was doing in 2012. Lady Gaga had to cancel concerts. Madonna's tour was not successful, at least not, subjectively amongst the critics. I think it might have done more financially. But it was not critically well received, at least not what I read. If I'm wrong, I apologize to the Madonna fans. But the point is, Barbra at this age, in fact, I didn't even mention, just a couple of months ago, we had Barbra singing at the Oscars. So Barbra's been doing a lot of stuff, and we should be really grateful that our diva, our greatest star, is still very, very active and very anxious to do more, to spread her wings, to fly. Not to sit back and rest on her laurels. Thank goodness for that. So now let me take a look at my notes here. Okay, here we go. You might have read online that there's a new book coming out by Paul Anka. It's his memoir. Paul Anka, of course, wrote My Way for Frank Sinatra. He wrote the Tonight Show theme for Johnny Carson. And of course, he wrote all those, Put Your Head on My Shoulder and Teen Numbers, because he started out as a teen star. Then he became more of a crooner and a composer. And he talked about being good friends with Frank Sinatra in this memoir. And in the press clippings that have been circulated, Barbra's name is cropping up as saying that Frank Sinatra had an irrational hatred for Barbra Streisand. Well, I did a little research. Turns out that there are only 2 mentions of Barbra in Paul Anka's book, page 153 and page 172. I don't think there's a lot of information there, folks. And I think if Frank Sinatra had an irrational hatred of Barbra Streisand, it might have been early on before he really got to know her. Because, maybe when she was coming up, they clashed at some point. But by 1969, 1970, when Frank Sinatra did his first retirement concert, Barbra was the closing act before Frank. And she was there singing a tribute to him. And then years later, they worked together on the Duets album, and they began socializing and became good friends. And I don't think she would have done a duet with Frank Sinatra. I don't think she would have included him in her 2000 Timeless concert. I don't think she would speak so lovely about him now if they had ever had an irrational, if Frank Sinatra had had an irrational hatred for Barbra and, voiced it to her. Now, maybe behind closed doors with Paul Anka misunderstood something that Frank had said. Maybe, I remember at one point, there was a story about Julie Stein really wanted Sinatra to sing People before Funny Girl opened on Broadway. And Sinatra didn't like the song, and he refused to sing it. And which to me it was fine, because the only single that came out from Funny Girl of anybody singing People should have been Barbra. And it was. And that was the right thing to do. But I understand Julie Stein, he was looking for, a #1 hit song, and he was looking for one of the biggest male vocalists of the 20th century to sing it, and he'd had a lot of big hits with Frank Sinatra. But I don't put a lot of credence in what Paul Anka wrote, and you shouldn't either, because they always use Barbra's name. The reason that they use Barbra's name is to pump up the publicity, because they know people like you and me will click on that and say, well, what is Paul Anka saying about Barbra Streisand? See? Then they've accomplished their goal. Now, I did want to mention a couple of things. Last week, I was telling you guys about my Barbra notes, and I showed you a couple of them that I had here. Everybody, quite a couple of people responded right away, and they ordered as many as I have. So I really don't have anything left of that. The people who did order, Robert and Elaine and a guy named Pedro, please be patient with me. I really had a terrible week, and I wasn't able to get these in the mail, but I will this week. Come hell or high water, promise, I will get them in the mail. So please be patient. Now, it's almost 17 minutes in, I thought I would share a little, Barbra memorabilia with you, do a little show and tell. Now, I got this recently from a fan named Joe Petrolisi. And he's a big Barbra collector, and he watches Sunday with Ally. I had never met him, but he reached out to me, and he said he has a big collection of stuff. And included in his collection was this sketch of Barbra's costumes from Color Me Barbra. This is from the circus scenes, the Animal Crackers number. You see you can see the dress, the sort of like circus outfit, right? And down here, you can even see the little booties, which if you look close, they were funny little booties Barbra wore. And Barbra clearly signed off on this, that's her signature. And this was dated January 12th, 1966. So January 12th, 1966, she approved these costumes for Color Me Barbra. Isn't that nice? Isn't that cool? I think that's very cool. Now, here's some other stuff I wanted to share with you. Did you know, before there was the film The Way We Were, actually, The Way We Were began when Arthur Lawrence wrote the treatment for a screenplay. And he wrote 50 pages and sent it off, I guess, to Ray Stark in Columbia. And Barbra finally got it and agreed she was going to do the movie. But in the meanwhile, Lawrence decided to take the story of The Way We Were and turn it into a novel. And this is the novel. See, The Way We Were. And there's a picture of Arthur Lawrence. And this came out before the movie. There's not even a reference to the movie in here. Nowhere does it say anything about the movie. This came out in 1972 is the copyright. So this is quite a little rarity. This was a book club edition. And what's interesting is this is the exact same novel that you can see the paperback version. But it's the different cover, and it still has the dust jacket on it. And it's kind of cute to think that Lawrence was energetic enough to say, well, if I'm waiting around for the movie to get made, I'm going to sell the book. Speaking of The Way We Were, I wanted to share these with you. These are some photos, I don't even know where I got these from, of them filming The Way We Were. And there's a great shot of this is the, what kind of pie scene. Barbara and Redford on the street, and they're talking. I love Barbara in that outfit. I love that skirt suit, and he's in uniform. Isn't that a beautiful picture? Can you see it really good? Isn't that great? Now here's another one. Here's Barbara with Sidney Pollack, and she's holding her pages, her sides. That's what they call the pages of dialogue. And they're talking about where she's going to be, how she's going to film it. And here's another sort of semi-close-up shot of her on the set. And you can see that right here? That's a big arc light, because they have to light these things, especially back then. They have to really, really light well to get good images. And this is a picture also from the filming. This is probably when they filmed in El Morocco, because that's the El Morocco outfit. And Barbara's hair is a little askew, but it's still pretty cool. So anyway, I thought I'd share those with you. Now, another thing that I thought I'd share with you is in 2006, a magazine called City to Shore did a Barbara cover. It's the Harry Ritz cover, and the whole issue is about the power and the glory, and the article inside is all about Barbara, of course, but it also includes. I wanted to show you this. Come on, where are you? Oh, I think I went right past it. You think I'd be getting better with props. Well, can't do everything. Here's what I wanted to show you. Look at this. Caricature of Barbara. Is that weird or what? They really love to emphasize that nose. Oh well. Anyway, so this is a really nice little article. That doesn't really say that much, mostly about the concert. And last but not least, I wanted to share this with you. Before VHS put out the Barbra Streisand specials, or CBS Fox put them on VHS, and before they were later put out on DVD, the only way you could see the Barbra Streisand TV specials were to either get the All-Star Video knockoffs, bootlegs, or get a bootleg copy from another fan, which was always, suspect as far as the quality. Or if you got to New York, you could go to the Museum of Broadcasting, which is now called the Museum of Television and Radio, and sign in, sit in a little cubicle, and get to watch Barbra's specials. But they also, a couple of times, did a Barbra retrospective. And this one is from October 21st, 1986. This was the Museum of Broadcasting screening schedule, Barbra Streisand, the television work. And as you can see, there's a big shot here of Bella 14th Street. And here's a Color Me Barbara image. In fact, that's the outfit from the concert at the end. And there's the I Got Plenty of Nothing number from My Name is Barbara. And included in this was My Name is Barbara, Color Me Barbara, Bella 14th Street, musical instruments, happening in Central Park, the making of putting it together, the making of the Broadway album, putting it together, and the Barbra Streisand interview for, was it Barbara Walters special and Papa Can You Hear Me, the 2020 special. So as you can see, this is now, my goodness, how many years ago? 30 some odd years ago. Barbra's specials have always been special. Only now we're so lucky that we have them in our own home, and we also have YouTube where we can see them anytime we want. So we are darn lucky. And for you younger fans, you are really lucky because Barbra's now doing concerts, doing movies. You guys are in Barbra heaven. So anyway, before I say goodbye, let's adjust the hat. What do you think? I want people's opinions. Do you think the hat is cute? Do you go for it? I tried the baseball caps. They don't really look that great on me. I tried fedoras. They don't look great on me. I love the fedora that Barbra wore on the cover of Esquire magazine, the Scavullo picture. If I could find that fedora and it fit my head, I'd wear it in a second. Unfortunately, I have a small head. I don't think Barbara's got a big head. I think she has custom-made hats. And she's lucky. But I did pick up my wig the other day. I'm not crazy about the wig, so you may see me sticking to the hats, guys. and I hope you don't mind. And in the meantime, anybody who wants to help me out with all these, oh my God, these medical expenses are just insane. I mean, between the co-insurance and the co-pays and the deductibles, I mean, I am like exhausted from it. So if anybody wants to make a contribution, and so many of you have, and I love you for it, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here is where you should go to say thank you for Sunday with Ally and to help me out with my Nothing's Impossible project. And I hope you don't mind me, there's a Yiddish expression called hacken Chinik. I hope you don't mind my hacking you in Chinik every week to ask for a donation. Also, anything that I showed you, here, let me show you, if there's anything that I showed you here today that you were interested in, I certainly would be willing to, barter this stuff or let you guys have it, because, my collection is not going to last forever. And, sooner or later I'm going to have to get rid of some of this stuff. So if you saw anything here that you think you might want, and in exchange give me a donation for Nothing's Impossible, well, let's try to work something out, okay? And in the meantime, I've talked 26 minutes. I don't believe it. I went longer than ever. It's going to take forever for this to upload. But I'll be back next week. And today was a lucky day. It's the 24th, only a month until Barbara's next birthday. And until then, this is Ally Waldman signing off. And I'll see you next week. And wish for yourselves a good week, and wish for me a good week too, because I need it. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.